Hi there, super friends and abused friends. Master Legend here with part 2. And I'm with the doggies, my good friends, pretty much my only friends, except for people I talk to that are on the other side of the world and stuff. You see, when you're an abused person, I don't know what it is. Maybe people can tell because they want to stay away from you. They avoid you. You're an outcast. That's why I said in my last video, the abuse follows you. Even when the abuser is gone, even dead and gone, I still have the horrible memories. And because I've had to be a survivor in my life. You see, when I got kicked out after my daddy killed himself, I was 12 years old and I was pretty much out on my own. My mama waited until she could finally emancipate me. And then she emancipated me and I was out on the streets. By 16 years old, I was working 2 jobs and had my own apartment. Of course, there was those to try to ruin that for me. There's always the enemy too. See, beyond the abuser, there are those who are jealous because you're a survivor. They know that they could never endure what you have went through. They know they could never put up with all the years and years of starvation and beatings and all the emotional abuse that goes with it. You see, it goes hand in hand for those that I've heard say, well, I got mentally abused. My mama didn't buy you the PlayStation. Oh. Well, let me tell you something. I had relatives used to send presents. The one, I barely knew them, but they would send presents to Grandma and Grandpa's. And guess what? I saw them, but my daddy took them and put them at, I guess he was able to get the money back at the store. And because we never seen them after that. I never seen it. And so here you go. I was out on the streets at a very young age. And so, of course, the friends that I had, their parents said, he's trouble. That's out on the streets at a young age. He must have been a bad kid. Caused his parents lots of trouble. It's all his fault. He don't have nothing. He's out working 2 jobs. That's his fault. Well, in the meantime, friends of mine that were living the good life with the good family eventually went through high school and they went through college. Oh yeah, they forgot all about me when they were living the dream and getting the brand new cars and everything. They didn't need their old scumbag friend anymore that used to always let them come hang out and they'd be partying it up. And they always had a place to come stay with me. But I tell you, and it goes around the other way around, these people, and as much as they say they're your friend and help you out, the time you ever need any help, you'll find out how much they help you out. Some of y'all may know the story of Old Superhero. Now, he was never really abused like I was, but he had a different type of misery when he was young. And he had an idiot brother, just like I do. I will be telling you more about the Peanut Head in other episodes. But Old Superhero, he came to the end of the line. And then, what did he do? Everyone knows. He killed himself. Because he couldn't survive it anymore. I've told people, if Old Superhero would have lived my life, he would have killed himself 1,000,000 times over. If he couldn't get himself back on his feet. You see, while all the other people, his fake friends, oh yeah, they all want to be cool. He had the Corvette and everything, but when he lost his Corvette, friends disappeared then. Then he got with this lady that I knew was not a good woman for him. He could have done way better, but he got with this old woman, and she eventually used him up for everything she could, and then gave him the boot. And what did he get? Because he had no backup, no real family, like me, he didn't know where to go. I offered for him to come stay with me in my bad side of town because, you know, I never was able to reach for the stars like all the lucky ones. And, well, he killed himself. Superhero took a gun and killed himself instead of constantly pressing on. The ideas of being homeless and starving and stuff like that, some people would rather die before they ever face such things. Me, I've had to do it, and I stuck around for people I thought might have cared about me a little bit, only to learn later they didn't care at all. They really don't care at all, only about what you can do for them. And when you tell them your abuse stories, you know, when they're questioning things about you, they don't believe you. They think their poor soul story of when Daddy wouldn't buy them a car, the kind of car they wanted, supposed to make me cry a tear. And then when I tell them about, well, how would you like it if your daddy killed your dog and your mama cooked it up and made you eat it? Would you like that? How's that? Or would, you know, have a cheaper car than the fancy car you wanted instead? You want to trade places with me? Yeah, they don't want to hear that, and that's why these people will stay away. They can't survive. They've always had family. They've come from a good life. They've had 3 meals a day. They're healthy. They're not growing old with bone problems and stuff because of vitamin deficiencies when they were young. I was starved and I had pneumonia and I was anemic. My daddy used to put me under an air condition, and so it would keep on blowing and blowing while I was freezing, and then wouldn't give me a blanket or nothing, and he just kept me under that air condition till he finally made me get pneumonia. And I almost died, and I had to take iron pills. These iron pills, it's a good thing I went to a public school for a little while there in the first grade. And that teacher there, a nurse, noticed that I was in bad health. And the school doctor found out, and they sent me to a doctor, and they found out I had pneumonia, and I was anemic with malnutrition. So, of course, my daddy, that ruined his plans, and my mama, to kill me. They're trying to figure out ways to kill me, but not doing it, you know, where they could get caught. So, there you go. I had to take iron pills, boxes of them. Thank goodness I got them, but they ruined my bones. All my teeth come out with no enamel, the second teeth, and my bones are weak, and even though I'm a fighting man and all, I've broken a lot of bones, but that's okay. I was used to it as a little kid. So when these bullies come up to me and they try to threaten me, these thugs, all they do is remind me of my daddy. And they make a biggest mistake of their life because I'll rip their eyeballs out, I'll rip their throat right out of their neck. That's how mean all of it's made me. But I'm equally as nice. If you look at my videos, you'll see Master Legend has gone out and above the call of duty to help people in the world, all around the world. Thanks to me, there's 3 wells flowing in Africa. There's people who went to college, thanks to me. There's little kids that didn't get thrown out in the streets because I paid their rent while I lived in the streets. Yep, total strangers. You think they even remember me? Maybe a little bit. But that's who I am. So when these people go, oh, the abuser, he'll abuse his own kids. I had a daughter. Of course, she don't talk to me anymore because I'm a weirdo. I got nervous conditions and I can't help it. You know, I got anger and nerve, and it's not her fault. And I just can't help it. I got to take medicines for that, and that come from the Russian roulette to my head all the time. When your daddy's playing Russian roulette with your head, you heard that? That bullet went off just as I was saying that. You wish for the bullet. You get disappointed. You go, oh no, it didn't kill me again. All right, try again, Daddy. Try again. Why don't you load it all the way up? But he was just looking for that scare factor. And they found out that I was not easily scared and I didn't care about dying. They just turned up the torture. Well, that's enough for this episode. I don't want to make them too long. So I appreciate you listening, super friends, the very few who will listen, because there's a lot of people out there just refuse to listen to the truth and hear what happened. They want to believe a whole different story about me, just like Hollywood made a whole bunch of lies about me. If I would have known, I didn't get paid no real money for that. Nope. Maybe $10,000 for them to try to ruin my name. That's right. David Clowens is the main one who is behind the mastermind. Everybody, the janitor even made more money than me. That just goes to show you how people take advantage of the guy they know, come from the wrong side of the tracks, abused, has nobody, no family, no one that'll help him, except maybe a few friends here and there have thrown a little kindness my way, but one time only, like this one guy, Daryl, told me. One time only, I helped him out one time. How about that? One time, that's all. But I tell you what, I've helped out people continuously, and animals too. And I ain't gonna say, well, I helped that dog out, that's my duty of a lifetime. Nope, but that's how they think of you. So anyway, super friends, I don't want to stretch it too far, so catch the next episode as I tell you about how I was born with a veil and I died the moment I was born. If only I could have just stayed dead. Okay, I'll see you later.